So, hey guys, I thought I would make a short video on the interface of Photopea. So it might help you when we're in class. I apologize for the audio on this. These headphones are horrible, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear me. So here we are in Photopea. We have, along the top, we have the menu bar, which is pretty similar to any menu bar, pretty self-explanatory. We have all kinds of different options. And if you're looking for something, especially something, one of the palettes that are usually found over here, this is where you're going to find it in the window menu. To open them, you click the little arrows. To close them, you click the little arrows. Right now, probably the only one that you would need to have open is the one that has the layers in it. So when I looked, when it was closed, I could see lay. And so I opened that one up, and that's layers. So on the left-hand side, we have our toolbox. The toolbox houses all of the things that you're going to need to create your image. You'll notice that if you hover over the tool long enough, you'll get both the name of the tool and you'll get the keyboard shortcut. You do not have to know the keyboard shortcuts. I don't know all of them. I do know the ones that I use a lot. And once you're working in this a lot, you'll notice that you probably either want to remember them or you'll want to learn them so that you can remember them. Specifically cutting, copying, pasting, deselecting, select all, select inverse. So some of those you might remember. I'm not requiring you to remember them though. So you'll notice also when you look at your toolbox, each tool has a little arrow to the bottom right. If you click on that arrow, you're going to come up with a sub-menu or a flyout menu that has similar but different options. So this is the marquee tool, and we have the rectangular marquee and the elliptical marquee, and again also the keyboard shortcuts. So each one of these that has a little arrow on the bottom has a sub-menu of different things. Some of them are just easier to use in certain situations. Some of them are very important to know, like for example, the gradient tool. And we know the gradient because it looks like a value scale that I know you did in foundations. So it's white on the left and black on the white and all of the grays in between. That's called the gradient tool. And if you click on that, you're going to find your paint bucket under there. You're probably going to use the paint bucket a lot. So it's good to know that. Just like I mentioned in class, we have the type tool or the text tool, and you will be using that when you add any sort of type or text or words or anything, your name, to your project. Please do not use the pencil or the paintbrush and write like a 3-year-old. We're in high school, we're going to use the text tool. Down here a little bit further, we have the magnifying glass, and I'll show you what that does in a minute. And then we have our color swatches. So we have the foreground and we have the background color. So if I click on this, the square, the color picker will come up, and you can just choose your color. You'll notice that the bottom color, the bottom band is the color that it is now. And then the top band is the color that I'm clicking on. So it is the color that I'm going to choose. So once I've chosen a color, you need to make sure you click the OK button or it's not going to change here. And then in between the blue and the red boxes, we have the arrows, and those arrows will switch back and forth between the two colors, the foreground and the background color. So right now the foreground is red, the background is blue. If I click the arrow, it's going to switch that. Now the foreground color is blue and the background is red. And then also next to that is a big D, and if you click on that, it's going to change it back to the default colors, which are black and white, the most used colors, the most needed colors. Under that, we have our quick mask mode, which we will be using for